Yeah, normally I wouldn't just record myself doing one of these areas, but this particular Vaal Rift has an aesthetic I hadn't seen before. Yeah, it spawned in the Ebony Barracks, labeled as a cellar. So, you know, area underground in the Ebony Barracks area. Have these glowing blue glyphs that I don't recall seeing before. I mean, the shape of the glyphs looks like something I've seen before, but being painted on the walls with blue blood, well, what looks like it might be blood or just bioluminescent paint or something, I don't know. I mean, those are the same enemies that you find inside the lower parts of the Lunaris Temple. So, you know, which makes sense because this area is adjacent to the Lunaris Temple. But aesthetically, this is nothing like it. This also, it's like I've never actually seen one here before. Although, one of the observations I've made is that in the open area maps, a lot of the time the rifts will actually spawn on the periphery of the map. Well, actually, I'm not even sure that that would go with open area as the only ones for that either. Because thinking about the way you find rifts in some of the other maps is that oh yeah, that's right, I can curse these guys. Rifts tend to be found on the periphery wherever you find them. And this one is just, you know... Wait, a summoned skeleton? Oh, that's right, a stupid shrine. I keep forgetting, there's a shrine that actually summons skeletons and refuses to stop until you click the shrine. Again, all of this glowing stuff that I've never seen in any other map in this game. Which, admittedly, doesn't mean a huge amount because I haven't actually played the game for a long time. Rhyma, the Deep Temptress. Oh my. What was Rhyma? That looks like one of the horrifically mutated mer-people. Seriously. What? Why? I have no idea what's going on here. This is something that is notable for being, you know, atypical. Like some of these Vaal side areas have a very simple layout to them, and this is one of them where, you know, if I just like walked straight this way, I could have bypassed most of the enemies. In one of the exterior areas, actually, the Vaal side areas, if you access one of them, you can literally just walk in a straight line from the entry point to the Vaal altar. Granted, you will have to walk past literally every enemy in the level, and they will immediately try to murder you because that's what they're there for. But it's an incredibly simple level design. Conceptually, it works because it's just supposed to be like a side valley. Oh, that's one of the ominous Vaal letters that I haven't seen as often as some of the others. Alright, let's go through that. Ha. Vaal Ground Slam and Vaal Blight. I already had copies of those. What is the level of the items here? 30. Yeah, I level 30 gear. Interesting. This is a terrible staff. I don't really care about it. To be quite honest, finding good gear in this game is incredibly hard because the higher the level you get, the more possibilities exist for gear to be bad. Also, the definition of good is, part of the issue is that the definition of good changes as you get higher level. So that stuff that would have been good at a low level is now terrible and completely unusable. Oh, I can do that. I know, inventory tetrising. Oh wait, hold on. What I'm trying to put in is that... And now I feel like I have the dump. Whatever. Anyways, this goes here. And I pick these up. So, doesn't have special loot. It's just... Why is this place have this theme? This style of building basement sort of thing feels like a storeroom. Like, you have all these crates and barrels just stacked along the walls. Oh yeah, that's right, I haven't killed everything yet. Oh. Yeah, because it's the sort of interior design you would find in, well, a completely different act, because this is late in Act 3. Very... this feels incredibly mundane. Like a storehouse at the local whatever establishment, not what you would expect to find underneath the Ebony Barracks. Oh, one of the roles here is I have less energy regain. Okay. Sure. Whatever. Well, that was weird. Well, that was a lockbox that gave crap. Seriously, it was just a big pile of junk I don't care about. I mean, I guess it's one of those things, just like you rolls the dice, you take your chances. Well, that was a lot of rolling dice, and oh well. But yeah, so this particular aesthetic, going back and looking at that, it does feel kind of dilapidated, like, place hasn't seen proper maintenance in years, hasn't been cleaned in years. Have these busted, disheveled crates. Like, these barrels look rotten. Like that one there, I'm pretty sure the contents leaked out of it because of how it's like bowed and has seams split. This barrel had the bands fall off of it. I don't know where the bands are, but they fell off. And again, a whole bunch of broken stuff. Like, what's this? I don't know. Just a random piece of junk laying on the ground. Very interesting. Oh yeah, one of my observations about looking for these rifts in... Wait a second, is that a steel girder? Yeah! It's a steel girder that's either been cut to pieces or broken and then just laying on the floor. Why? Actually, you know what? I'm gonna look at that. Like, okay, double axe, elegant sword, those are loot items. Oh yeah, this thing here, this is actually a debris item. It's like a wooden pillar that's broken. Whole bunch of barrels and stuff. This is like a super, super close-up look at the barrels. To be honest, the design of these barrels doesn't feel like it's meant to hold liquids. Like, like maybe these are gunpowder barrels. I mean, this is supposedly the Ebony Barracks, right? Gunpowder barrels actually would make sense for the Ebony Barracks. Interesting, to say the least. By the way, though, it doesn't really feel like it's in use. And what's with these random bits of metal debris? From a environmental storytelling perspective, this is interesting in large part because of the fact that it gives you part of the story. Like, what's this piece of wood on the floor? I don't get that either. What if that's actually supposed to be part of one of the Vaal characters? Like one of these dead soldiers, just like their weapon or something. I don't know. Anyway, alright, that's enough of this. But yeah, it's an underground basement cellar. Don't fully understand the logic of this being here because of the fact that it doesn't fit the aesthetic of the area that it's attached to. This here being, like a Vaal whatever thing, okay, it's supposed to have a different aesthetic because this is a Vaal aesthetic. Can't just, have different versions of Vaal stuff for every possible. And the boss monster. What the hell? Just one of those where you're like, I was not expecting to see one of those here. Now, the weird, creepy glyphs appeared on things. The whole fishman thing kind of sort of makes the glyphs make sense because it's the sort of thing that the fish people in this game are into. So, having this area having been taken over by a fish person, suddenly the weird glowing glyphs make sense. So, looking at the aesthetic of the Ebony Barracks, so it's like, when you look at the outside of this, the exterior of it matches the interior aesthetic. However, look at this tree. This is the aesthetic that you see not in the Ebony Barracks. Wrong button again. But in Sarn, I mean, if I was to teleport to the city of Sarn, I would see very similar aesthetics. Although, having neglected cellars like this in Sarn isn't something I've actually seen. Maybe it is something that can happen and I just never got lucky enough to see it. Aesthetically, it feels like it's part of Sarn, though. The fishman thing, well, when you look at Sarn, it is actually very close to water. So maybe that's the reason for the fishman thing, is that, fish people crept into the cellar because it's neglected and took over because, fishman people do fishman things for fishman reasons. Alrighty then. Well, guess that's enough pondering this. Very interesting because I've just literally never seen one of these before.